Good morning. Welcome to Reading the Science of Mind in 1 year. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the Center for Spiritual Living Common Ground in Central Maryland. Today is July 10th. So let's get started with our reading and see where it takes us. Here we go. Reading for July 10th, Science of Mind, a Philosophy, a Faith, a Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 470, paragraph 1, through page 471, paragraph 4, using inclusive language. God can only give us what we take. God cannot give us anything unless we are in a mental condition to receive the gift. The law cannot do anything for us unless it does it through us. Belief is absolutely necessary to right demonstration. We are on the path of experience, just waking to the real fact of our true being. As we awake, we find we are surrounded by many false conditions, but there is something within which remembers the real state. If one will sit in quiet contemplation of good, as an inner experience, they will experience the good which they contemplate. They can do this only as they turn from that which is evil and dwell on the good alone. The universe will not be divided. The universe holds nothing against us. The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without, if we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude. There is nothing in the universe that wishes evil to anyone. Indeed, it is only as we experience good that God is expressed through us. The more completely we realize good, happiness, and success, the more perfectly do we express God, and the more God do we become. That is, the more does God become personified through us. As the prodigal returns to the divine's house, so must we return, not with a morbid mind, but consciously and definitely, with direct intent and a complete concentration of purpose. The journey back should be fraught with happiness and joyful expectation, for we shall be met with a smile from the universe and shall be folded in the arms of love forever. The eternal completion. The substance and supply exists eternally in the divine's house. Health, happiness, and success are native to the heavenly home, and the divine itself shall be our host. More we could not ask. More could not be given than that which has been given from the foundations of the universe. Discord, misery, and unhappiness are the result of a misuse of our true nature, the result of ignorance. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects, but knowledge clothes us in the seamless robe, while wisdom puts the ring of completion on our finger, and understanding feeds us with the fat of the land. No one who has tried this has failed. It would be impossible to do so. If any have thought they have failed, let them realize that somewhere they have fallen short of the divine calling. The truth cannot fail, for it is God, the Absolute, the Unconditioned One, who is the truth. Let us no longer fight the old. Let us no longer remember that we were once on the outer rim. Let us forget the past and live in the eternal present of life's happy smile. Today is good. Tomorrow will be even better. And that vista of tomorrows that stretches down the bright eternities of an endless future will all be good, for the nature of reality cannot change.
Okay. So this is one of those readings where I wish Ernest were here so I could have a conversation with him um, about the use of language. Um, and it's tricky because language is kind of all we have. Good morning, Jenna. Good to see you. Um, and it language is a finite thing, and so trying to accurately talk about the infinite using finite words, my experience, always a challenge. Always a challenge. Um, I love everything in this reading, and I'm also very much aware that it positions things in opposites. And what comes up for me is that's part of our challenge. It becomes part of our struggle that there are no opposites in one. And what I experience as opposites is simply a vibration that is out of sync with the truth of my being. And the way that I relate to it, the simplest way I relate to it, is like tuning guitar strings. And what I was taught in tuning guitar strings, instead of listening to the pitch, listen for the difference in the vibration. Right? When two guitar strings are actually in tune with each other, we only hear one vibration, one cycle, one, there's a pace to the tone. And you tune two strings together, you only hear one vibration. If they are at all out of tune with each other, you hear the difference. Right? And so, what I relate to in my awareness of the consciousness that I am is when I'm experiencing out of syncness. The challenge is to make the adjustments to bring my human experience into alignment with my divinity, the truth of me, the substance of me. Um, that is always the string to tune to, right? And to the when I am able to let go of the good and bad of it, and just go, oh, I'm out of tune with myself. I'm out of vibrational match with myself. I'm out of resonance with myself. Then it's much simpler and honestly easier to turn the knob, if you will, and make that adjustment. And the knob in tuning this human being is thought. It's the narrative I'm running, which is based on the thoughts that I have. And ultimately, it comes down to being willing to take 100% responsibility for my vibrational state, uh, which is the biggest challenge that I've ever navigated. Because just like you, I was raised on the reward punishment paradigm that taught me somebody has to be to blame. And when I remove blame from the equation, I instantly remove the villain victim hero triangle. The whole triangle collapses the minute I remove blame and replace that with this is my responsibility, not responsibility from this is my fault, but this is my responsibility from the understanding of this is within me is the ability to respond to this. I have response ability, right? And so I changed my thinking to move myself more in alignment with the truth of my being. And to do that, I have to understand that, what they talk about with the prodigal son coming home. Well, the only home I'm ever coming back to has always been within me. That in reality, I never left because I can't, right? In our teaching, that there's this divine, whatever it is everywhere present, and it's all there is. There's nowhere to go away to. I just misvibrated myself, right? I misaligned myself. And so the returning home is a returning to my vibrational alignment with myself. That's how I have chosen to look at this stuff, because the more I let go of opposites, the more I live in the wholeness of one, the less I struggle with any perception and experience of duality. So that is what's alive in me to share this morning. I don't see any comments. Those are always welcome, because I love to know what you're thinking. And if this were a slightly different platform, we would just have a rousing conversation that went wherever it went. All right. So, with that, I'm going to move us into our time of meditation and contemplation. And I encourage and invite you to just practice being present with whatever shows up for the next 5 minutes. To welcome it. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't try to stop anything from happening. Just be present for the next 5 minutes. Here we go. So leaning into this moment, this perfect now, the only moment there is, this now where past, present, and future are one. This moment of now that is everywhere present, beyond time and space, everywhere present. I recognize one power, one substance that is the source of all creation, that is itself all creation. One power, whole, perfect, and complete within itself, one self-existent substance. And by self-existent, I am recognizing that it was never created out of something else, that it simply has always been. It is the very foundation, the very ground of beingness itself. Known by many names, it is nameless. Nameless because it cannot be restricted by a single concept. It cannot be restricted by a finite definition. And so in this moment, I recognize it as love. I recognize it as life, as the breath that is breathing itself as me. Excuse me. I recognize that being the singular substance of creation, I must be made out of it. I am an intentional, one of a kind, never to be repeated desire of creation to experience itself as me. And what is true of me is true of all life. Every expression of it, whole, perfect, and complete. Because that is the substance each is made of. No separation. Never used up by the multiplicity of expressions, simply being infinite possibility and form. This is what it is. This is what I am. So I claim and affirm that each and every expression of this divine substance is awakening to the magnificence that they are. That each and every one is excavating everything that in any way obscures the truth of being, returning to that awareness of the truth of their being, returning to that vibrational match, that point of awareness that recognizes the divine self within the self. That vibrational match. I am. And in that, all access to the infinite intelligence that we are, all access, the perfect knowing the next correct action. Correct only in terms of being in alignment with our divinity, with our substance, with ourself. I claim and affirm that as I experience this day in this physical realm, that I am palpably, intentionally aware that every interaction is an interaction with this divine substance. The creation is simply interacting with creation. That everyone I meet, in every place I meet them, God is in relationship with God. Life is in relationship with life. Love with love. Whatever name I have at the moment, universal substance is simply communing with itself, expanding its experience of itself. And I am grateful. Grateful for grace. It simply loves. It holds nothing against its creation. It simply gives. Grateful for the activity of law, that doer within the creative process that only knows yes, and has already said yes, and has already enacted to make it so. And so I celebrate the completion of the word spoken. I remind my brain cells that there's no waiting, that it's already done. And so I move into this day expecting to see the manifestation, choosing to see the manifestation because I choose to believe that it is done, because it is done. So I let go and I step into a full, unfettered, unrestricted experience of living in alignment with the source and substance that I am. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.